weekend? I can't remember.
They
Yeah, they
lost
did
to
to Manchester United, of course.
Manchester United.
Yeah. So, but I think they're still 4 points clear. Now, that can be quite easily rubbed out on other results. And Manchester City are sort of coming at them, let's face it. And Manchester United, if they carry on how they've been doing. But for Paul Scholes to say that, why would he say it would be the worst team? Did you say to ever win the league? Is that what he said?
Whoever win the
So they're even
title.
worse than Leicester. I mean, there must be an implication. I don't really get that. I mean, okay, he's biased in favour of Manchester United, I guess, but why would he say that? Did he explain himself in saying that?
Well, it didn't. It was just a caption that but anyway, I would say it's because of the way they've done not especially this season, but last season. They were that close to being
Yeah,
rival with Liverpool, and then they lost out. And then this season, they're showing signs of
the
a
same.
deja
Yeah,
vu moment with the way that they are playing now. Well, having said that, they did play well in the Champions League, because they're still in it. So
yeah,
actually, they are in four big competitions at the moment, and that should say that should speak volumes
absolutely.
of a
Yeah,
manager to manage to stay in four competitions. Because the more these players, the more you expose them to games, which is their job, by the way. But the more they're likely to pick up injuries here and there, and then he could play in one game, and then it takes him another 2 3 weeks to feature him in another game, and he might have done particularly brilliant in that game that he's played. So you think, yeah, great. So I'm going to feature him in the next game and
yeah.
keep up the momentum. But in four competitions, that's a
It's tough.
difficult. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's tough to keep up. But I believe why he said that is because it's just because of the way that they play. All right. So there was another. I can't remember who said this now, but they were saying that Arsenal is only good in set pieces, and I think the first person that
yeah.
actually said it was Liverpool manager Arne Slot when he won in one of the ties with Arsenal, and he said, "Oh yeah, but that's it." He said they're great in set pieces, but that's it. But then he said something else, which shows that he was actually praising their resilience in defending their position on the table. But is Arsenal just good at set pieces? Is there a problem there? Because they say if it's not broke, don't fix it. But do they need to fix something? Is there something they need to fix?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the sort of situation you're referring to, and I'm sure I heard it as well at the weekend, they scored a lot of their recent goals, most of, well, most from set pieces and not from in play. And I think the suggestion, perhaps it was on Match of the Day, I can't remember, but the suggestion is that you've got to be scoring goals when in play rather than just set pieces. Obviously, set pieces are important, both in scoring and in defending from them. But yeah, I don't think they have a problem. I mean, the guy at the front, who I think scored a goal at the weekend, the new fellow, I can't. His name is like GY something. You probably know his name, but he's the sort of centre forward as such, isn't he? He's a foreign guy. His name is no, I can't remember how you spell his
Oh,
name even, but it's a bit.
Gyökeres.
Is that what it is? Yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. It's
But
come
he
from
looks okay.
Portugal, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Can't
Yeah, I
remember,
think it was
can't remember his
Portugal.
first name now, but it's Gyökeres. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. And I
yeah,
think I
Gyökeres.
think he scored a goal He sort of bounced off him a bit at the weekend in their defeat to Manchester United. So I don't think we've seen enough goals from him. I think early on it was said he's struggling to score, and he certainly isn't. He's not making headlines for himself. I'm not sure that he starts every game. I don't think he does. Maybe he'll come good. So that could be an area that needs sharpening up a bit. But then you think they've got Saka on the right. They will either have Trossard or Martinelli on the left, and Declan Rice steaming through from everywhere, really, because he's a great box-to-box player. I personally, and they got a good goalkeeper in Raya. I think they're a very good side. I really do, and I think probably the best Arsenal side we've seen for some time, which is why, if I were a betting man, I would put money on Arsenal to win this season. They are still ahead. Yeah, it could all evaporate, but I think they're going to refine their winning momentum. I'm sure they will, and I think Arteta deserves that. You know, I used to think of him as a bad loser, and in a way, you could say that successful football managers do have to be bad losers. I mean, you could argue Ferguson was. Certainly, Guardiola is a bit of a bad loser. We've seen that in more recent times. So it's not really a criticism to say someone is a bad loser. Many managers will say they want their players to be bad losers, but that's all very well, provided the bad loser tag doesn't mean unsporting or blaming everybody else or whatever. Sometimes bad losers should mean you want to win at all, almost at all costs. And I thought Arteta used to be a bit like that. Nowadays, I think he's probably matured a bit. He sort of was alongside Guardiola for a while, wasn't he, at Manchester City before he came to Arsenal a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm always impressed with the way, even after a rare defeat at the weekend, he was still going around shaking the hands of Manchester United's players and, of course, the other manager and his coach colleagues as well. And I think that's always good to see, not least from his own players, to see that Arteta is not sort of sulking away down into the tunnel, but he's doing what a good manager should do. Basically saying, yeah, well done, we didn't deserve to win today. And that is good, but he still has this passion, this burning desire to win, such that he sometimes gets booked for standing outside his box, doesn't he? He'll sort of feel he's got liberty to wander everywhere outside of the box, and once in a while the ref